Hello, everyone. See some of them are joining in the room. Hello everyone, and welcome to the workshop 5. I'm your MC Selena. Just 24 hours is gone, and now we meet again. As usual, let me do a quick audio check. If you can hear me clearly, please type hi in the chat. Hello. Hi. Thank you for your response. So, um, Thank you, all of you, for your active participation in yesterday's section on the LAE. So many of you showed strong interest and were very engaged during the Q&A section. We really appreciate that. As the proposal deadline draws closer, we know some of you may be wondering how to effectively use data or which data sets best fit your ideas. Hello, Sharon. Thank you. To help you move forward, we have invited experienced speakers who will share concrete advice and also some practical case studies. As you know, always seek advice from the best. So if you have any questions during the sharing, please let us know in the chat box. The theme of today's workshop is From Design Thinking to Data Visualization. So for the first section, we have three speakers from InnoEdge Consulting. They are Mr. David Chung, Managing Partner, Mr. Paul Lee, Senior Partner, as well as Mr. Michael Tong, Partner of the InnoEdge Consulting. So may we first invite Mr. David Chung to share with us?
Okay, many thanks. I would like to share my slide first. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, my section is start now. Today I would like to share with you about holistic problem solving with AI design thinking and systems thinking. That's me in my part. I will share about two methods help you can solve the problem. Of course, this help you to build a big and good projects. In my section, we have three speakers. The first speaker is myself, and the second and first speaker is my colleagues, Paul and Michael, and I will let them to introduce themselves in their part. All of us is come from InnoEdge. Now I will little bit talk about InnoEdge. InnoEdge is a market leader of design thinking and innovation management in Hong Kong. We are 10 years. We have 10 years history, but we still moving ahead. In fact, we represent the world's largest design thinking and innovation organization in the Chinese world, including Design Thinkers Academy, iCell, and Mirrors. Apart from consulting, we also provide education services, social innovation services, and also in China, we coverage all innovation and design thinking services. In the last 10 years, we create so many measurable deliverables of our projects. There is some of them. Last but not least, apart from business, we also like to share our measurable results for the public. That's why in the last 10 years, we conduct volunteer talk over 200, of course, including today. We want to share our best practice to the public and let the people who want to improve ourselves, improve your projects, can have a concrete experience and best practice. Today, I have five agenda. Today agenda, I have five topics. The first topic is about overall of AI and power design thinking. The second is I will talk about real case study of Hong Kong, how Hong Kong community development using design thinking way to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency. Afterwards, I will share about design thinking and systems thinking. In my part, I will talk about the theory, and my colleagues Paul and Michael will use case study to present how design thinking with system thinking can create different impact across different area, such as a healthcare areas and also a car rental area. Especially, Paul case study is talking about the car rental, how car rental can impact ESG aspect, and also the consumer behavior also enhance, also affect the ESG practice. That's why today we have a theory, tools, and also case study. Of course, I know that all of you is more concerned about the projects. In fact, based on my understanding, the project 135 is all talking about people, how we help the elderly, how we let the customer pick up efficiency, or how we help the stock team to let the stock management more efficiency. And also, maybe some of you is concerned about Challenge 2 and 4, and I believe that the system thinking can help you to create a good ecosystem to motivate all stakeholders work together to enhance the effectiveness, not just the company and the systems. Now, I would like to share about the foundation knowledge first. I will share about a little bit about classical design thinking and also AI design thinking. I believe that you all heard about design thinking. Design thinking is a global recognized methodology for problem solving. It's talk about 50 year times. All the world know design thinking is really good methodology to solve problem, especially the human problems. That means if you want to motivate your customer buy more products, it's design thinking. If you want to motivate your employee to working harder, design thinking also. And there's three important core value of design thinking. Empathy, how we empathize with the user and motivate them. How we empathize our users' pain point and expectation. Or co-create. In design thinking, we are not just talking about we want to do. We co-create with the user to do something, to make things happen. And the last thing is, for design thinking, the name is design thinking methodology. And the outcome of design thinking method is not thinking, it's result oriented. That means revenue growth, market share, etc., etc. That's why so many enterprise using design thinking is product, service innovation, business model design, and process improvement. That is the outcome of design thinking. When you use design thinking, your outcome should be a product or services that help your customer fulfill their desire. And also, the supplier can do this. That's feasible. Of course, these products can variable. That's mean the organization, the enterprise can sell these products to maintain their operations. Maybe you don't heard about designing before, but I believe that you all should know Harvard Business Review. In fact, in Harvard Business Review, so many articles is about design thinking. And in 2020, there's a special edition. It's called 10 must read on design thinking. And they select the well-known cases. How Pepsi Cola win Coca-Cola in the world. How Samsung from OEM to a global brand. So many successful cases all about design thinking. Beside business, regulation, UNESCO also promote design thinking for the world to do the projects to achieve the sustainability goal. That means design thinking is not just about helping business growth, also help about ESG. Apart from the global level, in China, design thinking is also a focus of different city. That means design thinking is not only used for global level, also available, also apply for China level. Apart from the national level, Hong Kong government also promote design thinking since 2017. When you read the recap of policy address of 2017, Hong Kong government motivate business, social services, and education use design thinking. And they publish 4 case books to collect the successful case for the enterprise or organization in Hong Kong successfully use design thinking to create their growth and business improvement. There's some cases it's about my team. Maybe you think about, oh, design thinking is very good in global level, national level, and Hong Kong level. But how to implement design thinking? In fact, very simple. There is a framework for implement design thinking. It's called 4D model. 4D model. The 4D model we call double diamond model. The double diamond model, we divide problem solving into 2 important parts. The first part is problem space. That's mean, what's your problem? What's your root cause? Afterwards, based on your root cause, develop solutions which fulfill the root cause. That's a very simple model. And in reality, the double die model will also define in the 4 steps. The first step is discover. That means discover the information about your challenges. and then define the mission critical root cause. Afterwards, based on the mission critical root cause, develop different ideas. Last, transform your ideas into prototype and make things happen. There's the traditional model of design thinking. Um, Apart from the process, there's so many tools. For example, if you want to develop, if you want to discover the people want, you can use design research. If you want to define the mission critical root cause, you can use persona. If you want to develop so many ideas, you can use different brainstorming way. Of course, you want to transform ideas into the real products. You can use a rapid prototyping. Maybe you are take some photo. You take some photo on these designing tools, but all is gone. All is gone because designing is very good. It's very good in last 15 years. However, the traditional design thinking we call this DT 1.0 used so many times. Maybe you need to conduct 100 research and you will need 1 month and 2 months. But for today, I believe that just 1 week, the market demand will change. Therefore, in 2023, many people is argue about design is very good, but time consuming. How can we enhance the execution effectiveness of design thinking? Therefore, in 2024, there is so many new approach across the world. They all propose using AI for design thinking. We call AI empowered design thinking. That means we use AI inject into different tools to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency. There's so many papers talking about this, and one of the paper they conduct the research and measure the DT with AI and traditional DT way. They found that if AI using in design thinking execution process, there will be nearly 50% enhance the efficiency. That's mean AI cross DT is really powerful. And today we will talk about AI design thinking. We call it DT 3.0. Why there is so big improvement in AI design thinking? Because in AI design thinking, this is not just using human way. We use AI agents to help us to complete the task. What's AI agent? I would like to share a 1 minute video to you and let you know what is the updated, most trendy, most powerful design thinking.
6 InnoEdge AI agents supercharge the AI-empowered design thinking process, driving smarter and faster innovation. In the determine phase, AI clarifies strategy by analyzing complex data and furcating market trends. During discover and define, AI reveals deep user insights, uncovers emotional patterns with 90% accuracy, and sharpens problem definitions. In develop and deliver phases, AI amplifies creativity through rapid ideation, prototyping, and testing to craft impactful product and services. Finally, in the drive phase, AI sustains growth by motivating the teams to take action to change and driving organizational transformation. Ride on the synergic power of 6 AI agent, turning 26 weeks of project work into just 1 week with up to 95% efficiency. 6 in
Okay, I believe that you have some ideas about AI agents. In conclusion, we use AI or robot to help you to execute design thinking process, and that is the design thinking 3.0. I would like to introduce 2 tools for you because I know that whatever you want to solve, change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you need to conduct a market research. And there is some tools help you can conduct a really fast and better market research. We call AI design research, not design research, AI design research. We are using a technology called social listening technology. I believe if you want to solve the problem about change 1, 3, and 5, if you talk about people lead, these tools can help you. We go back to design thinking 1.0 first. In design thinking 1.0, we need to amplify our customer. We want to understand their need. We need to develop questions. Ask them, what's your experience? How do you think? What is the good experience, bad experience? We use questioning skills, we have to develop a question first, and then we need to conduct the on-site research. On-site research, we talk about the real user. We observe the environment. We observe their behavior. After you develop the questions and also conduct the interview and observation in on-site, you can find the pain point and expectation. What is the pain point in their journey? That's the old way. Lead time. If you need to conduct 100 interview, I believe that from question design, conduct, and analyze data, maybe 1 month. But today, 1 week will change everything. That's why in Design Thinking 3.0, we use another way. It's called social listening. What's social listening? Very simple. We conduct a research to connect all the information from social media. That means when someone buys something, he feel very good, he share in their social media. Wow, the product is really good. I like it. There's a really natural sharing and data. Oh, and vice versa. Someone buy product, the product is reverse. He complain and share. I have a bad experience in that product. He share it in social media. That means we can collect different user opinion in social media in last 10 years. Of course, you should select the right social media. That means if you want to collect the information from the middle-aged person, you have to search on Facebook. But if you want to focus on the young, maybe Instagram is your focus. After you select the right social media and also the right keywords, you can collect so many information so that any related information, any related opinion about your product or services in which day, and you can digest the information. Finally, you can find so many related wording. If there's so many wordings about your product is happy, surprise, that means your product is very good. However, if there's so many wordings, bad wordings, negative wording about your products, then maybe you have so many space for improvement. Total different approach, but for social media, social listening technology, this is more precise, and we can collect large size. In the last 10 years, we use on-site interview. We collect 100 people opinion, but in social listening, we can collect 10,000 because we can collect all the information from social media in last 1 year. And after you collect the information, I believe that you will think about, I know the customer need. I want to develop the products as soon as possible, especially you have to submit the proposal. Maybe in the last generation, we may use pencil and pen to draw our ideas. Maybe sometimes you draw a 3D model. Maybe sometimes you fabricate a small size, small scale prototype. But it's not good because your judge or your user cannot amplify, cannot experience what's your product. That's mean today we use another technology called AICG technology. AICG technology is very clever. When I draw something, he will know that I want to draw what. And then after conversation, such as I want to a green one, I want to be a old style, empire style, they can generate a 3D model for me. That's mean today AICG is very powerful and useful way to do a prototyping. I believe that you all know that AI design thinking, not just using AI and power, also provides so many advanced tools for you to enhance your product effectiveness. Now, I would like to share cases how Hong Kong people using AI design thinking to enhance the community development. Before I share the Hong Kong case, in fact, Samsung using AI design thinking to enhance their human error, reduce, and also the management cost, and also earning rate. There is a measurable results of AI design thinking. Also, one computer, excellent computer also using design thinking in their internal competition. And two winners help company create, you can see 5050 million US dollar. That is a business value for design thinking projects. That means design thinking 3.0 can create measurable deliverables. Now I will share a case we conduct with Hong Kong government in Hong Kong. The case is talking about a samshareable fabric market. I know that. I believe that some of you are Hong Kong people. You will know that samshareable is whole is a area. So many hawkers they sell about the second-hand fabric, and there is so many hawkers across different street in Central Pole. Government think that it's not good because when they facing a big rain, a big wind, the store may be many problem. That's why the government built a new center for them. We call it Central Pole Fabric Market. In fact, the market is very good. They provide a hygiene, they provide electrical, all the things. However, there's lack of customers. There's a big problem for them. That's why the government Hong Kong Design Center invite us to discover what happened. Why do people not go to the new fabric market? And the project was conducted in December of 2024. Of course, the first step we use social listening to collect and conduct so many information in social media about what is their opinion about the samshareable fabric market. Afterwards, we also conduct a little bit, a small scale on-site research to calibrate the AI information. And then we found that, wow, there is so many things. They found that the new fabric market cannot fulfill them. And luckily, we found that the result from social listening and also from on-site research is aligned. That means the research is successful. After we conclude the pain point, we develop different ideas. And also we develop so many new services. The last step is we propose the ideas to the district councillor to think about how they implement it. Now, I would like to ask you one question. Our projects, from data collection to execution, what is the duration of our projects, which I present in last 5 minutes? Please type your opinion in the chat box. If you think that my project is talking about 2 months, please type A. If you think about our project is 1 month, type B. 2 weeks, type C. And 1 week, type D. If you think about our project just 2 full days, type E. And if you think our project is 2 half days, please type F. Okay, please join. Okay, A, B. Okay, any others? Think about how long is my project. A. Okay. Okay. If time allow, I will ask all of you. However, today time is very constrained. Now I will let you share. Okay, there is a government poster. Please focus on the right upper hand corner. Our project was conducted just 2 half days. You will think, wow, 2 half days? Yes. In fact, the event is 2 half days. We invite the public. We invite so many people from university, from social service organization to conduct the research. But before that, we conduct a social listening report before. If I add the social listening report development, it's talking about 1 week. We count about 1 week. Compare with the same projects. I work for the TONG Human Arcade in 2022. We used 28 weeks to conduct the market survey and also conclude the information. But in 2024, we just 1 week. Just because we use different approach of design thinking. In 2022, all the tasks, conduct interview, analyze the information, brainstorming, always using human only. However, in 2024, all we use AI agents such as social listening, AICG, etc., etc. That means AI design thinking can enhance the time, not just 45%, maybe 90%. Maybe this can help you to conduct your projects. Apart from AI design thinking, at upcoming 5 minutes, I want to share about one more tools for you because design thinking is good for focus on people demand. But when we need to solve about the social challenges, we are not just concerned the just one people. We need to concern the whole system. The whole system. When you need to concern the whole system, you may use design thinking and systems thinking. And what system? As you can see, all the things about your subject is a systems. And in a business ecosystem, it's not only about customer. And design thinking is focused on customer. But in reality, maybe your business partner, your competitor, your supplier, or employee also affect the results. That means if you want to concern or conclude or consolidate and co-create all the stakeholders together, system thinking maybe can help to you. Because a system thinking is concerned about the system. Therefore, sustainable is also count in the outcome. That means you're not just focused about the good experience of the people use the products. Also think about how the product impact the environment. That means in the design thinking with system thinking approach, we have 4 criteria for outcome. In design thinking, we focus on one people. In system thinking, we focus on all stakeholders in the systems. And there's so many tools for system thinking to co-create with design thinking. I would like to little bit talk about. The first thing is system map. This is very important because in design thinking, we just not focus about the level 1. That's mean interpersonal. But in system thinking, you need to concern about different level. And my partners will use their case to show about what is different level. When you can see the different level, we will find the gap between yourself and the systems and how to synergize together. Apart from this, we also use different way to dig deep to find the root cause. One of the most powerful tools of system thinking is the causal loop. Causal loop means we found the relationship between 2 important things. We have 2 loops. The first loop is called reinforcement loop. That means something up and also moving and other thing up. Just for example, if you run a restaurant, if your customer satisfaction up, and I believe that the total number of customers will go up. This is good. However, at the same time, there is another loop. It's called balancing loop. When there's more customer, if you're not increase the manpower, the service level will go down, and the service level will go down, and the customer satisfaction rate will go down. There's a balancing loop, and that's 2 loop is affect whole systems. And one of my partner will using the case will talk about it. In reality, there's not an individual analyze. We need to talk about the different interactions. In fact, another tools for system thinking is we call 12 leverage point. We think that if we want to solve the problem, we have 12 leverage point, or we can say there's a 12 solution. The one is we find out the trigger point in the loop, and we can help to change. And also, we can adjust the parameter. And also, we can shift the mind. Or is the leverage point to change the system. Last but not least, and we have to plan a process to execute your solution. And in traditional way, we may focus on the financial and operation. But in the system thinking, we also need to focus on the high level and sustainable level. I want to use one diagram to show. In traditional way, we just focus on small part of our planning. But there's so many space, we may have a blind spot and need to bounce back of your products. That's very dangerous. Now, I would like to conclude my sharing. I believe that today's all projects, all product development is not talking about one customer. We need to co-create or master different stakeholder in the business ecosystem. I believe that if you need to master every stakeholder in the business ecosystem, design thinking and system thinking can help you. Okay, now I would like to invite my partners, Michael, to share about the cases how system thinking can use for different sector. Michael, I pass the floor to you.
Thank you, David. Can everyone hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let me share my screen first. Can you see my screen? Okay, great. Okay, I would like to share a case about hospital, the patient experience. The PowerPoint actually here is a little bit wordy. Is the purpose is trying to share with you in cases if I can't go through within 15 minutes for the details. Okay, it's talking about the transforming patient experience. John Hopkins Hospital's systematic redesign through integrated system and design thinking. Actually, David has shared some theoretical background. So here's the case is to demonstrate how the design and system thinking can integrate together. Okay, let me talk about a little bit about the background of the hospital. Not sure is everyone noticed about this hospital. It has a long history since the 17th century. It's a large non-profit hospital in US, but it is really famous, and for consecutive years, they've ranked #1 in US. And they have many firsts in the industry. And apart from that, actually, we've seen that they are also famous in the design thinking industry, and they are the pioneer in applying design thinking. Okay, why I'm saying that the John Hopkins Hospital is a pioneer in the healthcare design thinking. Since day one, the founder actually is focused the hospital not just only for the medical treatment. They are aiming for the patient wellness focus and introduce novel ideas about the hygiene and sanitation. And in 2012, they opened up a new complex, and the upcoming story that I'm going to share is about this new complex. From the screen, you're seeing that it's pretty different from the old one. It's really modern, but actually, apart from the architecture, it focuses a lot about the experience, the patient's experience as well. We're seeing that design is not just about what it looks and feels like, just as what Steve Jobs has quoted. Design is how it works, and this is the case really demonstrate that apart from the outlook of the hospital and the more modern details, it captured a lot human-oriented elements in the hospital. A little background of this case study. The case study started in 2009. The hospital is going to move on to a new place, and the relocation will be happening in 2011. And the senior management want to undergo a systematic redesign of the hospital rather than just a geographic move. In the following page, I will discuss what's really meant by systematic redesign. Actually, it's applying design thinking plus system thinking. You will see that the design team is not just only the designer. It involves a lot of stakeholders in the group for the design practice, including the administration and management. Rather than they just only signing off for approval, they are part of the team. Medical staff, of course, doctors, nurses, technicians, supporting staff is as well, which is pretty rare in many design thinking process, which includes different kind of supporting staff like the customer service, workers, the custodian staff, and definitely end users as well. Here we want to see how it's going to upgrade its system and how to define a system. Many people will think that system is talking about the hardware, the facility, or how the department, the logistic is going to work together. But under the umbrella of design thinking plus system thinking, we are trying to define the system in an ecosystem holistic way. And we're going to see why the Johns Hopkins Hospital, they deployed the design thinking plus system thinking. As I mentioned that the hospital is really a pioneer in design thinking. The reason why they want to include system thinking is they want a holistic problem-solving view. And from the result of the findings, they find that some arrangement in the patient transportation and environmental service, they are really critical. And this finding has been always being neglected or overlooked. Sustainability is mentioned by David. The beauty of combining design thinking and system thinking, sustainability is the clue. And we are seeing that some new arrangement about the hiring and training was imposed after the project's finished. Stakeholder inclusion and ownership. It mentioned about that all different level of staff and also the patient is included, rather than just only saying that the designer make the call. And the beauty of this is we're seeing that the buy-in from in the very early beginning, rather than hey, just eat what you have been given. And the last point here is the enhance the problem framing. So instead of just only looking at the patient care, we care more about the patient experience. Just like in the business environment, we care about our customer experience rather than just only at the moment that they buy the product. And even though sometimes that we are seeing that innovation may not be really necessary in a disruptive way. It can be some small minor changes that may really help a lot in the whole ecosystem perspective. Achieving the balanced outcome while the integrated thinking, here's the key elements from the high level perspective: the desirability, the feasibility, the viability, and the sustainability. Here are the elements that we're seeing that the integrated model, by combining the design thinking and the system thinking, what we want to see to achieve the human center with real data support, and also is a holistic and viable view. And the most important one actually is built to last. That means that you are not just only solving a pinpoint things, and it may arouse some other problems to come. It's trying to look at the problem from a more holistic view. So mastering every stakeholder within the ecosystem, we're seeing that we want to identify all the stakeholders within the system. Starting from the patient, we are putting in the center. And since the topic we're going to look at is the patient experience, then from there, we're seeing that it's then over to employees, to partners and employees, including all different parties from the hospital, rather than just only the doctor or nurses, just like the cleaners and the transporter, they are really critical in the whole experience journey. And the partners, we are referring to different departments. The people from different departments, just like the diagnostics and the nursing team, whether they are really working closely together to offer a pleasing experience for the patient, or the connection is disconnected. Rule makers actually is very obvious. It's talking about the boss or the leadership or the administration who set the rules. Apart from the daily job that they are working on for the rules setting, are they really notice about the details? Suppliers here, we mentioned not just only the external supplier, we mentioned about the internal supplier as well. Just like the interrelationship for different departments, they've got the upstream supplier, and they may be also the middleman for the downstream receiver. Competitors here, we're referring to others hospital, what they are really offering in the market. The key insight, we're seeing that to improve the patient experience, the hospital has to map and reshape the entire network rather than just only pinpoint to a particular scenario. And that's the beauty of combining the models together. For the ecosystem, it's just what David has been shared. We're seeing that the interpersonal, starting from the patient putting in the center, the interpersonal relationship with the family, the friends, and also how it deal with the doctors, nurse, we're putting in the center first. Then the next layer, as David has mentioned, there's 6 layers there. And the second layer is the microsystem, the local community, talking about the hospital room that you're staying in, the nursing station, and they can be viewed as the microsystem within the whole ecosystem. For the mesosystem, this is the terms that really are not really often used. It's talking about the connection, is the middle, in the middle of the whole circle. That's the connection between places like workplace. Just like for different department, we're seeing that there's a scenario for patient transportation to work along with other departments. Sometimes the patients provide the feedback saying that they are not really respected. They just like they've been treated like a good, moving from here to there. And the exosystem actually is talking about the institution itself. That means the hospital. To make change happen, the hospital leadership had to change their rules, and also the mode of working, just like the community, just like the teamwork they have to form, rather than just only the senior management to sign off the paper. The next level going up is the macro system. It's talking about the government, the nation, the culture, and the top level, or actually is the outer level of the whole circle, actually is the bio. The bio level actually is talking about the environment, the natural environment, the city, the local community. From the research that the hospital that they has been carried out, although the case is dealing with patient experience, it found that the really root causes has to be going into the middle to look into it, which is the mesosystem. That means it's connecting the issues between 2 departments, and it can be solved from even outer circle, the level is the SO system. That means it's changing the rules and changing the logistic arrangement. Okay, we're going to discuss about the 4D model, or actually we're putting here is a 6D for the double diamond design thinking model. The first D actually here, instead of going into the discover, we talk about the determine first, setting the priority for value creation. We always have a challenge statement when we want to kick off a project, just like the project that you are going to enter into the hackathon. The challenge statement from the design thinking lenses, which we are trying to put it in, is how do we enhance the patient's experience during and after relocation? And he is the big picture that the senior management want to see how to solve it. But from the view, from a systematic way, by including system thinking to design thinking, we're trying to setting the systemic priorities for value creation. And considering John Hopkins is a system, what does the hospital do to support the patient experience versus the simply considering patient care only? For the discover, we are seeing that data collection is very important, and from the double diamond model, we're seeing that the first step, we have to diverge in our thinking first. That means is exploring all the information that we may collect. We're seeing the case study start from the training first. It's talking about have a common ground for the people to understand what's about the design thinking and what's about the system thinking for all the stakeholders in the design team. Triangulation in data collection means it includes the desk research. That means all the third-party data, the internet news, and field research includes the observation, the interviews, and design research. And from all the findings, the team concluded and finding that they discovered that the patients value more than just only medical care. From a hospital, definitely medical care is very important, but from the patient's experience sense, we're seeing that it is just the very basic that the patients, they are expected. And also from the trends from other hospitals, we're seeing that successful medical procedures may lead to negative patient's feedback due to poor non-clinical experience. A shared understanding of the hospital as a system and highlight gaps in traditional approach. Then the second stage that we are entering in is the define. We want to narrow down, we want to converge back to the particular scenario. And we are trying to record framing. We're trying to reframe the question to focus on supporting the patient experience versus considering patient care, leading to the realization that there's two key findings which has been prioritized. The first one is the patient transportation, and the second one is the environmental service. And these are not really tied with the medical care. It's not really tied with the doctors, whether they are performing good operation or not. For example, the tools that from the design thinking, we use the problem statement to describe the case or describe the scenario. Start from the very early beginning. We've got the challenge statement, which I put it in the top red boxes. You will see that it is a very generic, or actually it's a very open challenge statement. from the problem statement, we're seeing that we want the details. Just like starting from the very early beginning, we want to describe the background, the situation. For example, as I mentioned about the patient transportation, we want to see why is it that the situation happened and how it impact the patient. For example, here we put into the persona to describe how the patient, what kind of patient, why they are anxious, and why are they have to wait for the next step they are going to go on. We care about their emotion, and we want to know what's their emotional goal. We want to know about their needs and what's their expectation and what's the barrier that trying to stopping them from having a better experience. For the second problem statement is in a similar way. We are seeing that patient's room is also a very important context, and many patients really reflect that they can't have a really speedy and quality arrangement for their room or for the area they can take a rest after the admission. So in the same approach, we have to know the emotional details and what's their expectation and what's the barrier to make them not happy with. The environment actually is the brainstorming session. It goes back to an ideation, a converging approach, to having all the design teams to brainstorm together to see how to come up with the solution. So the details in the paper, they didn't explicitly saying what's the solution that it comes up. But from the papers, we're seeing that the result is trying to reduce the wait time and also enhance the efficiency for the patient transportation. That means from after they finish the operation, if they have to move back to their hospital room, is it being treated in a prompt way? For environmental service, whether it's the room, the hospital room is clean enough, they can get back to their room on time after the admission, and whether the quality of the hygiene is good enough or not. Seems like all these details are very, I would say, simple, but actually this affects the whole experience in a really intensive way, and that's the reason why the hospital prioritize these two problems to develop the solution. In the developed stage, we're seeing that the performance with all the data has been improved, and the feedback from the patient is good and positive, and the management team really trying to improve the situation by providing the trainings and also in the recruitment procedures, and trying to make the outcome a sustainable system redesign. For the last D, which is the drive, for this D actually is driving the team to go onward after the project to keep going, because design thinking is not just only a one round process. Actually, it's an iteration. From the documentation that we found, after 10 years, they make some announcement to talk about the patient experience. We're seeing that they are focusing in writing on the design and system thinking logic to build the infrastructure, to create the alignment. They standardize and enhance the patient experience by using the integrated thinking model. The measurement has been put in details for the whole journey, and also to come up with the improvement plan using the lean canvas. Okay, from the whole case that I have been shared, we're seeing that systemic redesign improve the performance and also the experience as well. Inclusive stakeholder engagement is really important. That means that all different level of stakeholder need to be involved if the environment is really a complicated or complex situation. Share foundation with design and system thinking training, making sure that their language are the same and the ideas can be brought in the earlier stage rather than the final proposal being submitted for approval. Reframing the problem and identification of high leverage point. Actually, Paul will discuss more about the leverage point here. And the leverage point in the case that I've been just shared is the patient transportation and environmental service is the most critical and important one that has been brought out from the research. Sustainable and systemic solution really help the hospital to keep their position in the industry and improving the patient's experience. Level power dynamic actually is trying to break down the traditional hierarchy in the hospital or in the company to make a faster fixing solution because sometimes the hierarchy produces politics or making the system broke down just very silos. So from the case that I've just been shared and refer back to the projects that you are going to go after for the hackathon, is there any implication that you may see? Because we are finding that all the 5 projects that has been come up for the hackathon is all related with the system. But one of the key words that within the system is the human oriented. Whether we seriously consider all the stakeholders within the system to make the journey or to make the experience in a good way. So the final page here for the conclusion actually is design thinking ensuring the process to be human-centered, empathy, and trying to achieve the viable solution. And system thinking, adding on the system thinking, we're trying to have the holistic view. And the final, I put it from the plus to across because after the AI-enabled model, we are seeing that it can achieve the sustainable innovation in a more faster and easier way nowadays in the market. Okay, here's my sharing. So I would like to pass on to Paul to discuss about the case for car sharing. Okay, thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for your sharing on the Johns Hopkins Hospital case. Is fantastic one. So, okay, hi everybody. This is Paul. I'm the senior partner of InnoEdge Consulting Group, and my specialties will be on business consulting on business model as well as strategy. And another field of expertise will be the social innovation. These two are all the complicated situation that we have to consider a lot of external stakeholder or the whole system. And today I'm going to share with you, sorry, I'm sharing my slide. Today I'm going to share with you on the case that about ESG. So let me on my slide. Okay. Okay, so today my topic is exploratory study on leverage point and rebound effect, go more car rental. So the object will be go more car rental company. But the two key points will be the leverage point and rebound effects. Don't worry about it. You may have not heard about this before, but then these two are the key elements in system thinking, that how it can help to enhance the design thinking process and make it more effective for this case. Okay. So I'm going to go through with you who is Gomor and what's about the rebound effect and leverage points before going into the case, and then I will dissect the case step by step. Okay, Gomor is a car rental company from Denmark, which is founded in 2005. But in 2016, they shift their focus not only for car rental, but also for car sharing, P2P rental. So, and very important point, one of their mission will be taking care of the planet better. So they add ESG element into their corporate mission. So that would be a strategic level decision. So, and what does it mean? It means that via this service, they want to reduce the cost of ownership for driving, increase convenience, optimizing the utilization, and all in all, they want to reduce overall carbon emission by an effective car sharing service. That's their mission. So with this understanding in mind, so we know what Gomor is trying to do. And a little bit recap from what David has shared on the left-hand side is a reinforcing loop and balancing loop. Just a point. In real world, there's no separate loop, not just loop by loop. It is usually loops with another loops. So like the adoption rate of some new product, by word of mouth, it will be more adopter, and with more adopter, there will be more adoption rate and increase in a reinforcing loop. But meanwhile, to a certain level, the adoption rate will reduce the number of potential adopter because market situation, and it will decrease the adoption rates. So this is usually more complicated. It's not just a single circle or cycle. So it would be loop by loop. And I'm going to show you something shocking, but just don't worry, don't panic. But this is typical as a system dynamic of the whole causal loop. You don't need to read any detail, but there's factors affecting each factor. So you can see a lot of reinforcing loop, balancing loop, a lot of loop, and a lot of interconnecting situation. That is the real life. That is the complication of system. And if you overlook certain point, there could be backfire. And this case is showing you what will be the backfire and how to prevent it. So in traditional logical thinking with root cause analysis, we want to deduce the root cause and then try to solve problem one by one. So in this case, like I want to have an efficient caching service which will enhance the fuel efficiency, so improve the fuel efficiency. That's why they are positive with each other. They are in similar direction. But then with fuel efficiency improve, that means the emission will be lower. So that is the conclusion of the logic. A good car sharing program will reduce carbon emission, and that's the purpose. And that's the mission for Gomor, how they can reduce carbon emission and save the world. But for a causal loop, we try to complete the circle. What if the emission is really reducing? So in short term, there won't be effect, but in long term, we can see that with the emission is getting lower, there will be less pressure from the society to suppress the emission from driving. And with less pressure, that means there will be less motivation or less leverage for the car sharing. So the efficiency won't be improving. So you can see from starting with a positive on the efficiency of car sharing, looking back, it will result in a negative impact. So we call it a balancing loop because it will be in a circle. So this is the real circle, and then factor is affecting each other and eventually coming back to the origin. But still, this is good thing because when fuel efficiency further improve, emission is always going down. This is important. When fuel efficiency is improving, the emissions always go down. However, when we try to identify other factors, we can see that there could be rebound effect. What is rebound effect? So when fuel efficiency is going down, on the right-hand side, you can see the cost of driving is also going down. If fuel efficiency is going up, the cost of driving is going down, sorry. But when cost of driving is going down, that means you have more disposable income. You have more income, you have more intention to drive. And when you have more intention to drive, your emission will go up. You can see from the same factor, fuel efficiency improve. Last page, we saw that the emission will go down. But in this page, with this chain of variable, we can see the emission go up. And eventually it will help to close the loop in a reinforcing loop. But then it is a difference from our original intention. The fuel efficiency should lower the emission, not increasing. So that it will be a problem. That is what we call rebound effect. And that's the root cause of the backfire. So with a system thinking point of view, we have to consider all the path and the node, how they interrelated and connected, and there could be multiple effects on the same node. So, and then we have to consider how to trigger the system effectively and to make the system work for our purpose. So the second concept, we need to understand what's the leverage point. There's 12 leverage point. You won't see every details of the point, but the point is, yeah, when we analyze the system, Middle, which is a scholar who analyzed that there will be 12 generic leverage points for all the system that you can use of. So I try to categorize this into 4 categories. First, from 12 to 10, you see in inverse number. These are all in parameters. Parameters means we are leverage the system or try to trigger the system by some of the numbers in the system, which is like the tax rate, price, the quotas, or the river flow and all this. These are parameters. But then the second category is the feedback loop. Feedback loop is how we feedback the information to the system. So because sometimes the feedback may not be immediately. So you drive more, there will be more fuel consumption, but you're only aware of this when you see the credit card bill on the fuel consumption, but not immediately when you are driving. So it's the feedback loop will also be important. The third category, from 4 to 6, we call system structure. How we construct the system and to adjust the behavior and trigger all the causal effect more into our ideal situation. And last but not the least is the mental model. Mental model is to shift the mindsets of people, human beings. So you can see there's 4 major category of leverage point, and they further break down into 12 leverage points in the box that you can refer to. But all in all, you can see like a leverage, some of the leverage point you can have bigger leverage effect than others. So now with this understanding, we go into our case. Our case is when GoMore try to build a more efficient car sharing system, its cheap, its convenience, there would be unintended outcome. People drive more, emission goes up. So that is the backfire. What's the missing piece would be the feedback loop. They don't know the relationship between all those variables. What do? So we try to dissect the case using the double diamond model. We may not have determined and drive this time, so we have to discover, define, develop, and deliver in the 4 steps and see how they try to analyze the case and find the right solution. In the first stage, it's discover. Discover is that we identify. So we have to build the causal loop. Do it step by step. You try to map out all the nodes. All the nodes are the variable. They are none. They are variables that may change if there's system change. If there's any issues ongoing, there will be variables. Once you have all the nodes, try to connect them with the causal relationship. With this one going up, the next one is going up or down. You have to identify the color. So on this diagram, they're using the green color as a same direction, while red color is the opposite direction. And then finally, you have to look back and make sure that it's in a circle. Then you can identify which part will be a reinforcing loop and which part will be a balancing loop. So this is the fundamental understanding on the system. And once you have this diagram, or you call it a map, when you map out, you can try to define where would be the potential mechanism to trigger this map. So in this case, in particular, they identify 5 different trigger mechanism that can help to change the behavior. First is the income mechanism, which is your cost reduce, and then you will spend more. That would be an opposite statistical mechanics. So that would be one of the trigger. The other one is respending. Respending means when you spend less money on the transportation, you may spend money on other activities which will also incur carbon emission. This is the respending. The third one, substitution. This is changing to others. That means some people who used to walk or use bike or public transportation, now with an effective car sharing platform, they may try to drive. So it is not reducing, but increasing emission. And the other two is the motivation with mechanics, which is the sense of guilty is getting less because it's greener, or the time consumption mechanics is which is when there are it is more convenience, it leads me to drive more. So these are all the factors that may affect the system. So how do we do? Based on this different mechanism and also the leverage points, the team tried to think about the different ideas. So the ideas in ideation stage, develop stage, they figure out based on this tool framework, they figure out 68 different design strategy, how to help to reduce the rebound effect. I give you some example. Like I give you 4 examples. Like on parameters level, on triggering the rebound mechanism on respending, we try to improve the product efficiency. So it's further improve the car sharing efficiency and all this in order to offset the spending. So that should be the parameters level. The second is on the feedback level, which is income mechanism. So we use price feedback. That means if you drive too much or we set a limit, if you drive longer than certain distance, we'll increase price. Using price to feedback a signal to you that you are driving too much. So this is a feedback mechanism. On the third level is a system structure. Because people are using go mode intense, there's a tendency to be trying to drive greener. So might as well we try to configure a personal sustainability goal. So when you rent a car, try to set not only the mileage or the rental, but also a carbon emission rate that you want to aim for this rental period, how much emission that I want to control myself to be in. Then when you have this structure with your personal sustainability goal into the rental system, that may cause difference. This is the motivational consumption mechanics. The last one is the substitution effect, but then this is on the intention level, on the heart, on the mental level. We don't want to adjust the mobility system. We want to adjust the human settlement and urban center design. That would be very high level rethink of the whole system. So may I invite you, if you are the decision maker, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 different policy or potential strategy. Which one would you try to deploy? Which one would you try to deploy to the system? You can type in the chat box while I'm still going on, because you can still see all those numbers. So while you are typing your answer, I'm telling you, as a designer, we have to analyze all the options with 3 elements, with the feasibility, effectiveness, and desirability on the solution. Okay, let me look into. So a lot of people using option 1, which is to improve our productivity, product productivity efficiency further. Okay, let's have a look. What would be the outcome? So when we evaluate, give a score to every single aspect, so we find that in general, the lower levels, I mean the number is higher from 10 to 12, when the effectiveness is usually lower. When it is in those kind of level, effectiveness will be lower. But on the other hand, we can also see that the feasibility and desirability would usually be higher. The other way around, we can see if we go to the left, deeper to the leverage point, that means from 1 to 3 or the top level leverage point, the effectiveness would be very high, but usually the feasibility and desirability would be low. Yes, thank you. Someone tried to do the most challenging one, but solving the root cause, try to take the option 4. Yes, these are all possible solutions. But in real world, how do we select? We have to weigh the overall effectiveness against the feasibility and desirability. So in this case, what they recommend in the physics is in this tool, because they have moderate outcome, but they still have a high level of effectiveness or high desirability. So it's more controllable. So this is a particular case. In this case, I'm not saying that in the middle level will be the best, but you have to wait overall. But the key takeaway is with shallow leverage point, so the back half 7 to 12 is easier to implement, but less effective. Deeper leverage point will be highly effective, but it will be harder to implement. So at the end of the day, it's a trinity. So you have to balance, optimize among cost, time, and effectiveness. And then we have to map our design strategy back to the causal loop and see what will be the impact to this case. So at the end of things, by just design thinking alone, you may miss the causal loop. You cannot predict the unintended consequences and not seeing the whole system health. So with system thinking acting into design thinking, so you will help to add the visibility of the hidden feedback and also identify the intervention points. We always have to balance the feasibility and the effectiveness, and it helps to predict the unintended consequences. And we can design our solution not by single point, but in the system level. Okay, the takeaway of this case is there is rebound effect. This is real, for real. And with the causal loop diagram, it can help to make the complexity being seen. So when the whole team, everyone can see, it's much easier for the further discussion. Leverage point, we are not recommending the middle core or the one end or the other end. You have to be smart with a mix of some quick wins together with some lasting changes. That would be a combination effect. And last will be design thinking with system thinking can provide you a sustainable solution, not only by sustainability ESG level, but also the sustainable in terms of the whole model, the robustness that won't backfire you. So you can bring this to the cases on warehouse transformation or supply chain with traceability or end-to-end delivery or other general tech. So these are all the cases that you may consider much more than just one single point of solution. So very last one, the tips for your project. As a designer, innovator, try to understand the solution trigger. Where will be the trigger? Try to analyze, map at least 3 levels of leverage points to see different depth. But then you always have to have a balance between quick wins and deep change. As a leader and decision maker, you have to understand that there would be unintended consequence, budget for it, budget for refinement, and involve frontline workers like Michael's sharing in the case. Frontline workers is the first one to see the feedback. So be engaged with them. So then you have a holistic point of view. Thank you very much. This is my today's sharing, and hopefully you can have some takeaway and which help your hackathon going on. So I pass the stage back to the organizing.
Thank you, Paul, for the summary and also the takeaway. And thank you, the other 2 speakers, David and also Michael, for giving us such a comprehensive sharing. So yeah, I believe most of you would have some takeaway from it. So in case you have any questions, you may leave it in the chat box, and then we will ask our speakers to answer it later on. So thank you, 3 speakers again. Right now, we will move to the second section, which is about the 3 I of data visualization from ideation to executive insight and strategic implication. So let's welcome Mr. Edward Lau, Partner AI and Data from Hong Kong Center of Data, Asset Trading and Applications. I see Edward is here. Could you say hi to us and start your sharing?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Edward.
Hi, thanks. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. Can see my screen?
Not yet. Right. We can see it now. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay. Well, good afternoon. Maybe some of you maybe see me last week talking about AI and IoT, right? And today I'll share with you about data visualization. So I'm coming from Hong Kong Data Asset Trading and Applications. Well, actually, most of the time I'm sharing about data as an asset, but today I may, from another point of view, talking about data visualization that can help all of you to solve the challenge from the data hackathon. So, triple I. So what is that? Is idea, insight, and action. All right. So from business challenge to strategic action, well, it is start from problem statement. We have to make a clear problem statement. So, first of all, we transform the vague problem statement into a specific one. Because when you get your challenge from the data hackathon, um, you may have to be more specific to your solutions, right? So for example, why the sales drop is really vague. So make it more specific, such as which segment drops most in Q4. And then the first I, it is idea. So to identify the business problem behind the questions. For example, you have to know your data source, analysis type, as well as the time period. And then you go further, that will be at the second I is insight. You have to select the right data and answer, find the right patterns, explain what happens, why it matters, and quantify the business impact. So there's two words. This for insight is so what. So we got the data, and then so what, right? And it need to be related to the business. And here's come to the third one, the third I, it is implications, actions. Usually we offer three different options with a trade-off and recommendations. And sometimes maybe we can also offer a trial because there's a few options and maybe we have recommend one of them and then do a trial, right? Before we go make further. So make a quick win. This is the importance. All right. So talking about data, right? So there's a lot of data. For example, there's a customer demographic. Here's the business question. So who are our most loyalty customers? What do you think? Well, you will see in the chart reported. So we have a frequent purchaser and with a customer age, right? So who make we I mean what that means is 20 times. So it is repeat purchase. Okay. And it is only purchased for a few times. So the first one, it is data visual. So which means it will show the younger customers, age 25 to 40 is right here. And it has more repeat purchase. Well, of course, for the age between 30 to 50, they also have repeat purchase, but more of them, they have the purchase frequency maybe is less, 10 to 60. Then, so what? What is the insight? Which means is the older segment show a decline engagement for the people from 40 to 60. And for the younger people, 20 to 30s, it maybe have more loyal and engaged. Then what is the action? Okay, target to the young customers. Let's have a more product design and a marketing strategy that target to the younger customers. And for the age between 40 to 60, let's create some retention program to all customers to try to increase their purchase to higher, okay, repeat purchases. All right, it is another example. This is about the logistic cost. So you see that, well, the shipping cost, which is the green one, has a faster growing rate than the revenue growth. So the blue one is the revenue. So it's a quite steady growth of the revenue. But however, shipping cost at the beginning is not really high. But however, year by years, it is really, and I mean, at the point of 2023, and if we look at the trend, it will maybe going even higher, right? So it really eats our profits. And what is the data we show? The bar chart is showing year over years high increase in the shipping costs. And then, so what for the insights? The logistic cost will be going faster than the revenue. Then it reduces our profit margin. And it is the real impact to the company. And the trend is emerging when it's 2023. You may imagine then the profit will be much more worse. And then possible strategic action is maybe the executive should explore supplier diversify. We are negotiate contracts with the supplier or increase in automation to reduce long-term costs. What that means is the ultimate goal it is to protect the profit margin. And doing data visualization, AI should be one of the powerful tools to doing that. For example, it can help to generate different kind of visualization from raw database to to help the user to brainstorm faster, or it can create a lot of different charts, right, and highlight the correlations, trends, and maybe to find something we overlook. And for the impact, AI definitely will give us a lot of suggestion. And when you're doing the prompt, it use a role-based prompting. For example, one of the prompt is you are the CFO of the trading company, right? Or you're the CEO of the retail, right? So, but no matter what, make sure that just a kind reminder to align to your hackathon stream. So, because this is about IoT data. All right. So, because when doing data visualization, I believe many of you will using Excel, right? And talking about AI, and actually the Excel that it will be incorporated with a AI copilot, which can help you to handle this. Let's take a look. And you can hear the voice from the video, right? Let me know if you cannot hear.
Hello, Edward.
Yes. Yes.
Are you displaying the video already? Because we
Yes.
cannot hear it.
Okay. You can you see it, but you cannot hear, or you cannot
Yeah,
see
we
the
can see it. We can see the bar is going on, but then we
there's
couldn't
no
hear
no
the
voice,
sound.
no voice over.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me check it. Let me check it. Okay.
Monthly revenue by product.
Can try again.
Yes,
How about
yes, yeah, we can hear you
okay?
And
now.
which
Thank
data
you.
to reference across
All right.
tabs.
Thanks.
Copilot creates a plan for how it will run those numbers, executes that plan, showing its work as it goes, and prompts you to ask questions or iterate on the solution it reached. It looks great. So you're ready to add that column to your spreadsheet. Now a new ask has come in, and you need to understand how each product category is performing and ensure that you are selling at least 100K in product in each category per month. Let's start by comparing sales by category. You ask Copilot to create a simple bar chart so you can quickly see which product categories are selling the best. And with conditional formatting, it highlights the product lines that aren't meeting the $100,000 minimum threshold, so you know where to focus. Now that we know which products aren't selling well, let's dig a little deeper and see what we can learn from the customer feedback. Copilot in Excel can now reason over text, like this raw customer data. Copilot analyzes all the customer feedback from the past quarter and surfaces the top 3 concerns. It looks like charging speed might be an emerging issue. Let's ask Copilot to highlight customer reviews that mention charging speed. Now, with the help of Copilot, you've taken a complex, disparate data set and quickly analyzed it, giving you a full picture of your revenue trends that you can bring to the upcoming business review.
All right. So because you have to do with a lot of data, right? So data set, it is really is a critical element for the AI, right? So maybe you can using the Copilot function incorporate into Excel to help you, no matter to doing data cleansing, to highlight the data you're looking for, or well, they can help you to create a lot of complicated formula, right? And then, okay, and of course, you need a appropriate or right prompting for the data analytics, right? So for example, this I share some of the example of the prompting when you're doing the data analytics. For example, first one, give the insight product A sales a decline, then give some of the, because well for the prompting, the better you prompt, the better you input, the better result you have, right? So the old traditional is like garbage in, garbage out, right? So everyone know it. So but same as prompting, right? So make sure that we have a very use role-based prompting. So who are you? Who's the recipient? What is the context? What's the objective? And the task? What is the constraint? Constraint is a powerful technique for the prompting, right? So for example, give the impact, the effect, and 6-month forecast, right? And another thing it is based on 3 different insights about our retail business, generate 5 strategic recommendations with estimate, effort, and impact. And then maybe you can also add your constraint, right? To limit it to for example, budget, time frame, or resources. And after the first prompt, and then you may doing the second prompt. So is the second suit. It is giving this insight, and then generate these strategic options with pros and cons for each, and then ask the AI to given the scoring of all those options, and then to pick the first one, right? So define the right format for the decision matrix for estimate impact and effort. So make sure that we apply the right prompting when we're doing the data analysis using AI. All right. So to be more sophisticated, and then we can still using the Python in the Excel, right? So before that, we just type the simple prompt, right? But if you know programming, and actually you can just apply the Python in Excel to make a good dashboard. Let's take a look.
We are combining Copilot in Excel with the power of Python, the most popular programming languages for working with data. You're working on your company's annual revenue forecast, planning for the next fiscal year. Normally, you could spend hours running a manual analysis of the numbers.
Let me know
Now,
if you cannot hear
Copilot can
the
run
voice.
Python in Excel, making your job a whole lot easier.
We can hear it, no worries.
Copilot does
Thank
an
you.
advanced analysis, reasoning over 3 years of historical sales data. Like an analyst would, Copilot opens up a new workspace where you can experiment to get the insights you're looking for, all without altering your original data. It shows a preview of what it's reasoning over, creates a plan to analyze it in a way that's immediately useful, and executes it with Python, giving you a quick picture of your numbers. Now you're ready to iterate on Copilot's work. Let's ask it to forecast your annual revenue for the next 2 years. Copilot repeats the pattern, creating a plan for how it will tackle the task, running Python in Excel to execute its analysis, giving you a fast and detailed analysis and prompting you to iterate and ask questions about its work. If you want to make any of the edits to the Python code itself, you can do so directly in the workbook. This is the power of bringing Python directly into the Excel grid. Let's take it a step further. You want to understand how best to meet your revenue goals, which customers have the highest potential upside. So you go back to your original customer data and ask Copilot to use advanced analysis to rank customers based on upsell opportunity. As Python in Excel gets to work, it jumps back to your analysis workspace. It prioritizes the most helpful metrics and provides a preview of the data it will use. It ranks them, and within moments, you have a prioritized table. You want to see a visualization of the customer ranking and understand the weighting methodology Copilot used. Copilot quickly creates a chart and gives you a detailed breakdown of how it arrived at the answer. Within minutes, you've worked with Copilot to create a full analysis of your data, all without writing a single line of code. And now you're ready to send the analysis to your sales team and collaborate on it together.
All right. Okay. So this is another example to doing data visualization with your data set, right? It's much more powerful, but of course, if so, even if you know Python, actually you can just go into Excel and edit the Python. And the good thing is because of LLM, right? So if you don't know Python, you don't know coding, just using the natural language, and then it still do a lot of things, right? So either we can do it in an Excel spreadsheet, or still using leverage the Python to do a much more better, stronger data visualization. All right. So, well, before there's a lot of tools, right? And actually today we have a lot of data. So the challenge is not find the data. The challenge is how we get the meaningful data. So what matters now and what matters next. So we have to, the key word here is prioritization. So we have to so because there's a lot of data, right? We have to filter and then prioritize. What is the urgent? Let's take care of the urgent first. Some is good, but it's good. But however, we don't need to take care at this moment. So we have to find out from the data. We have to find out some is signal, some is noise, right? So we have to find out signal and urgent. It require our immediate attention. And if it is a signal, has importance. Yes, it is also very critical, but we don't need to take it at this moment. We can do it as a long-term strategy. Okay, so we have to filter the signal from the noise. This is very important, especially when you have a lot of data. For example, IoT data, right? That I have mentioned before, and especially for the executive ready insights. For example, for your presentation to the hackathon, you have to do the executive ready insights, right? To find out, you have to find the signal data from the noise, all right, and balance the urgent response with a strategic forecast. All right, here's an example. So you have from the data, you have signal and you have noise. And we have importance data and we have urgency, right? So for the noise and importance, that is interest. Well, it's good to know, but however, there's no action at this moment, right? For example, the website traffic, okay, and something is like we have noise, and it looks like very urgent. However, this may be a misleading or low value, right? And we don't need to take care at all because, as I mentioned, we have to prioritize, right? So signal and importance. We have to take a look, but however, it is not urgent compared to here. So for the signal and importance, it is a strategic priority. So not immediate action, but it is critical for the long-term success, right? For example, the data show the younger customer prefers a subscription model. Then we have to adjust our production roadmap, right? And then here we go, signal plus urgent. We must act now, immediately, okay? For example, a customer turnover dropped 10% this quarter is a key in a key market because they drop it, right? Then there should be have a urgent retention program we have to take care because we don't want to have another significant drop in the next quarter. So we have to find out the signal and the urgency. All right. So it is the action. Okay. For the noise and importance, we dedicate. Okay. So we just monitoring the dashboard. So if everything's okay, then it's okay, right? No news is good news. Okay. For noise plus urgent, drop it. Okay. We have to focus because we're too busy, too many data, too many things. And signal plus important. It is important, but in the long run, so we schedule it. Okay. And signal plus urgent, then do it now. All right. So filtering. So first thing is we have to filter the signal from the noise, right? So we have to look at the patterns. Okay. No matter you're using AI or traditional way like special or using AI can help you to define the patterns, such as it is a consistent downward trend. So if it is the revenue is going drop month by month, then we have to take immediate actions, right? Or trend. And then we have highlight urgency from importance. One thing is the time sensitivities, right? Urgent is the time, right? So for example, there's a sudden in the failed transactions, and then we have the alert. So using color coding, thresholds, right, to flag the urgency from the importance. All right. So two key things here. Find out, filter the signal from the noise, highlight the urgency from the importance, because you have a lot of data set. Right. So some key away here is to bridge the analytics with the strategies. Go back to square one. What is the objective? Right? What's the objective? We have to align our analysis to the business objective. Okay. Second one, prioritization. Okay. Find out the urgent instead of importance. Right. Find out the signal, and then map to your hackathon theme. All right, maybe there's still a lot of urgent matters, a lot of signal, but you have to solve the challenge, right? So to narrow down, to make sure that all the urgency, the priority, it is aligned to the hackathon's theme. All right. So another tool from Microsoft.
Hi, I'm Ashok, and I'm here today to show you our new analyst agent in Copilot. We built Analyst to think like a skilled data scientist, so you can go from raw data to insights in minutes. Analyst leverages a state-of-the-art reasoning model that we've optimized for advanced data analysis at work. It's based on OpenAI's O3 Mini. Now, let's see the agent in action. Imagine I'm in marketing. I'm trying to understand our most loyal customers. I have this really messy data set. You can see thousands of rows and a few tabs across customers and their monthly revenue, and none of it has been cleaned or contextualized. Usually, to make sense of this data, I'd need to ask my colleague who knows Python. But let's try the analyst agent. I don't have to spend time writing the perfect prompt to get what I'm looking for. I'll just ask it to help me come up with an easy way to learn and visualize my customer base. You'll see the agent takes my question, understands the task, and constructs a plan to reach an answer. It also identifies the Python tools it may need to complete the task, just as a data analyst would. It can take any complex data set, make sense of it, and execute Python code to reason through the questions you have about the data. If I want to see more into its thought process, I can always click and see its chain of thought reasoning, as well as the Python code it's running in real time. This allows me to validate and trust in its thinking and approach. Analyst is already on to the final step and starts working on a visualization. Now I've got the answer I was looking for. With Analyst, now every employee has access to their own 24/7 data analyst. It knows Python, it's right within Copilot, and it uses chain of thought reasoning so you can check its work.
Okay, it mentioned about train of thought, right? COT, because I assume many of you is quite familiar with the prompt engineering, because there's two a critical skill for prompt engineering. One is TOT, and the other one is tree of thought. So it's a different branch, different option. Another one is COT that you mentioned. It is a train of thought. So to find the reasoning, step by step, the reasoning behind the data. All right. So IoT, because this is IoT data hackathon, right? So gives you another. I mean, I take one step further is AIoT, right? Well, some of you maybe take a look. The video I recorded last week. It is about automation, AI agent, and AIoT. So let's I just heads up to recall it. So for the AIoT device, it is eye and the ears, the device, to capture the real world data. For example, the motion, capture motion, temperatures, speed, people movement, right? And AI is the brain, right, to analysis. If when you design your AIoT framework, make sure that it mapped to the hackathon requirements using the IoT data. Right. I don't repeat this again. And if you're interested, take a look of the my recording on last week. It is from intelligent automations to AI agents and AIoT. So I explain what is difference between IoT and AIoT and give it some example. Right. So including like traffic, doing the speeding in the airport, talking about or the airport, the logistic thing, or the crowd management, the people movement, right? If you're interested, go back and take a look at the video later. So because today is about data visualization. So the IoT, the device, will capture the data or using computer vision, right? And we're using edge computer. The reason we're using edge is because of there's very low latency, and also is security and privacy, data privacy, because it didn't go to the cloud when they're doing the processing. But of course, there's an incident, and they'll go back to the headquarters for further actions, right? So it can help. For example, it can help to find the peak times and demographic insights. Or the trend was the highest density, and using the tools that I mentioned, using Excel to create the dashboard, or to keep track the in-store, what was the customer's behavior in the store, right? On every day, on the time, and on different area. And also, for example, about the customer preference on the product. For example, we have different types of product, A, B, C, D, right? So for the age and the duration, and you see the demographic, right? So for example, the product D, it is they prefer, I mean, is more popular, I would say, for the age of 40, and however, for the product D. However, for product A, they may be is not that attractive to the customers for the age of from 20 to 40s, right? So give it a chance. So there's a lot of AI algorithm can help you to doing the data analysis. But of course, you need you need a device, IoT device to capture the data, right? And then as I mentioned, IoT, it is like the eye and the ear, right? To hear the voice, to capture the movement, and then using AI to doing the algorithm analysis. So it is the slide that I shared last week, but let me highlight again, because you have IoT data like people, the people movement, the product that I just showed you, how they move, the location. And then using the open data or alternative data, this is one of the requests on the hackathon, right? For example, weather, traffic, demographic, or ESG data. And then putting all data together using the AI algorithm to identify the patterns, generate predictions, insight, give a suggestion. And all this should be aligned with your hackathon themes to solve your challenge. Then create the business value and impact, such as predictive maintenance and safety, right? Or it is a supply chain optimization or demand forecast for the retail industry, or provide better customer service experience, and at the same time improve the resources efficiency as well as the sustainability, because sustainability, it is one of the also requirement in the hackathon. And I have shared that about the SDG, because United Nations have 17 SDG that you may want to take a look which one you can adopt. For example, SDG 11, it is about smart city, smart urbanization. SDG 9, it is about infrastructure, for example, traffic. All right. So a lot of data, right? So we can using spreadsheet, Excel, maybe leverage the Python to doing the visualization, or even this agent that I just showed, right? Agent for analysis, and also maybe if you want to build a dashboard using another tools, Power BI from Microsoft, and it integrate to the data factory from the Microsoft Fabrics, because there's a data lake, they call one lake. So with the AI, the data lake, and as a foundation. So on top of it, you have a Power BI to connect to the data factory to create a dashboard.
Reports. She turns to Power.
So let me show you. So it's an example of using Power BI connect to the data set. And then it's similar to the spreadsheet, and you can use also using natural language to doing the dashboard.
Power BI Copilot to simplify her work. Firstly, she wants to understand the dataset and identify possible reports. Within seconds, Power BI Copilot suggests a list of recommended insights, allowing Sarah to quickly identify relevant metrics. Sarah decides to explore the sales value over time. Power BI Copilot instantly generates a visualization of sales peaks and valleys throughout the year, allowing her to quickly understand seasonal demand patterns. Next, she asks for the top-selling products by revenue, and Power BI Copilot returns a ranked list, which she easily adds to her dashboard. To make the report more accessible, Sarah includes a narrative summary by prompting Power BI Copilot to describe key findings. Within moments, she has a clear, concise explanation that enhances her report's readability. In just a few minutes, Sarah has used Enterprise Insights and Power BI Copilot to create her own custom reports using data originating from SAP.
All right. So create a dashboard will be much easier, and you see that the using natural language, first of all, connect to the data on the Microsoft Fabric, and then create a dashboard.
Reports.
All right. So finally, it is about data visualization, right? But of course, the ultimate goal for data visualization is we have a story, right? So data storytelling is important. So I just capture there's a news from a Wall Street Journal. It's interesting. So it's a company they need a lot of storyteller. Of course, maybe no matter the stock market, right? It's a lot of AI company. So they have to, or for the retail, a lot of retail company. For example, um, this morning I just have a global fashion companies from UK, and then they using I provide advisory service, help them to using AI. And we're also talking about the brand, how to, for example, using avatars to promote the brand on social media. So, and the reason why they're using avatar is same case, brand promotion. For example, Gucci, Calvin Klein, they're using avatar to help them to increase the sales, the conversion. I mean conversion, like from online social media to the e-commerce, and make it avatar even make the production cost is much cheaper compared to the traditional video shooting, right? A physical video shooting is really expensive, right? Take times, but for the avatar, it's just a few hours, and then you make a pretty good video, and in 10 different language, right? From Chinese to Japanese, or you can spread all over the world, right? So for storytelling, using AI to analyze data, and then we can craft the story that create customer value, of course, with the assistant from AI. So data to generate the insight from AI, and the AI have the insight can help us to prepare the storytelling, and then make the call to action to the customers to increase the conversion rate. Because for retail or for a lot of consumer goods, customers actually buy from the story instead of from the product, because they trust the brand, the brand behind the product, right? So it make the differentiation. Um, all right. So I think I am trying to wrap it up on time. So share with you about the triple I of data visualization, from idea to insight and implication. All right. So and actually data actually is really an asset, right? So have business value. So think about that, and maybe incorporate this idea into your data story. Okay. So thank you much, and thanks for listening, and good luck for your hackathon. All right.
Thank you, Edward. Yeah, thanks a lot for your sharing.
Appreciate it.
So just now Edward shared a few guidelines, for example, like noises and signal importance vs urgency. So these are the elements that you may consider or think about when working on your initial proposal. So let's move to the Q&A section right now. We will share our house slide with all of you. So Edward, would you please help release the stop
Yes,
sharing?
sure.
Thank you. So right now it would be the Q&A section. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat box. While waiting for the questions, let me also take this moment to thank you all of our speakers again, and also thank you to our co-organizers, Cyberport as well as HKSTP, and our government funding organization, the Digital Policy Office, for their invaluable help and support along the way. We would also like to thank all of our sponsors, tech partners, media partners, and supporting organizations for making this hackathon a success. Right. Earlier, yesterday we sent an email with all the important details about the proposal submission. So please let us know if you did not receive it. And please share the challenge statement your team selected on or before 30th of January for our record. Also, as a recap, please submit your proposal through the link mentioned in the email on or before 15th of February. And do remember to send us an email after your submission to iot@gs1hongkong.org. All right, seems like we don't have any questions at this moment. If you do have any, please contact us. I think after our Q&A section, we would appreciate if you could help us to fill in the event survey on the screen, because this will help us to improve our future workshops. And if you have any topics that you're probably interested in, you may also fill in the form to let us know in the future when you have time. So our next workshop will be held on next week. That will be the last workshop before the initial proposal deadline. If your proposal involves some location-based data, that would be a must-attend section for you. We are very grateful to have Esri China Hong Kong Limited to share their platform and also practical guidelines on how to work with spatial data effectively, and that will be completely for free. So don't miss this chance to learn the usage of such essential tool during your IoT data hackathon journey. We hope all of you can make the most out of it. Again, thank you so much for your participation. Our workshop will end here, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Stay tuned and have a nice weekend ahead. Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Good luck.
Good luck.